The first time it happened, I thought it was a glitch. I was alone in my apartment. It was late. 1:03 a.m. The kind of quiet where even the refrigerator hum sounds intrusive. I walked into my kitchen and said out loud, mostly to myself, "I need water." Before I could move, a voice behind me whispered, "You always do at this time." I froze. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It was calm. Familiar. And it sounded exactly like me. I turned slowly. The kitchen was empty. No open windows. No TV on. No phone playing audio. Just silence. I stood there for a long moment, trying to steady my breathing. Stress, I told myself. I'd been working long hours. Not sleeping well. Brains do strange things when exhausted. I poured a glass of water. My hands shook slightly. As I lifted it to my lips, I whispered, "Stop." And immediately, from somewhere behind my right shoulder, "I can't." The glass slipped from my hand and shattered on the tile. I spun around again. Nothing. No shadow. No movement. But the air felt crowded. Like something was standing just out of view. "I'm imagining this," I said out loud. "Yes," the voice replied gently. "That's easier." My stomach dropped. It wasn't echoing my words. It was responding. I backed toward the wall. "Who are you?" I demanded. Silence. Then, "I'm you." The room tilted slightly. That wasn't possible. I live alone. There are no shared walls thin enough for someone to mimic my voice perfectly. No speakers. No hidden devices. "Stop copying me," I said, my voice breaking slightly. "I'm not copying," it answered. "You just don't remember." "Remember what?" My head throbbed suddenly. A sharp, pulsing pain at the base of my skull. Images flickered behind my eyes. A hospital room. Bright lights. Beeping machines. Someone saying, "We almost lost him." Lost me? My breathing grew uneven. "What happened to me?" I whispered. "You survived," the voice replied. The tone shifted. Less playful. More disappointed. But something else didn't. The lights flickered once. Then steadied. "I'm not real," I said firmly. "You are," it replied. "I'm not." "You are." The conversation was wrong. It felt like arguing with a reflection that refused to mirror correctly. I grabbed my phone. Dialed my own number. It rang beside me. On the kitchen counter. But I hadn't left it there. I stared at it. The screen lit up. Incoming call, me. The phone vibrated violently. I didn't answer. It stopped on its own. Then a notification appeared. One new voicemail. I hadn't recorded anything. My hands trembled as I pressed play. It was my voice. But older. Tired. Whispering urgently. "If you can hear this, you need to leave the apartment. It's not empty. It was never empty. Don't fall asleep." The voicemail cut off abruptly. My heart pounded so hard I thought I might faint. "I didn't record that," I whispered. "You did," the voice behind me said softly. "Just not yet." The pain in my skull intensified. More flashes. A car accident. No. A fall. Concrete stairs. Blood. People shouting. "You were unconscious," the voice continued. 4 weeks. My knees buckled slightly. "No," I said. "Yes. You're not real. I'm the part of you that didn't wake up." The kitchen lights flickered again. Longer this time. When they came back on, the apartment looked slightly different. The walls were darker. The air heavier. Like a version of my home slightly out of sync. I need to leave, I whispered. Too late. My phone vibrated again. Another voicemail. Same number. Same voice. If you're hearing this, it means you ignored the first one. My throat tightened. I don't understand, I said. You split, the voice explained calmly. When you hit your head. Two versions. One stayed. One moved forward. The room felt like it was closing in. You left me here, it added. Something cold brushed past my shoulder. I spun around. For a fraction of a second. I saw him. Me. Standing in the hallway. Same face. Same clothes. But his eyes were hollow. Empty. You don't get to keep the life alone, he said quietly. The lights went out. Complete darkness. The refrigerator hum stopped. The world stopped. And in the blackness. Right next to my ear. My own voice whispered. Tonight we switch. And suddenly. I wasn't sure which version of me had just blinked. When the lights came back on, I was standing in the hallway. But something was wrong. The air felt thicker. Heavier. Like it hadn't moved in years. My apartment looked the same. But older. Dust lined the edges of the floorboards. The paint near the ceiling had faint cracks I'd never seen before. And the silence. It wasn't normal silence. It was waiting. I rushed toward the kitchen. The clock on the microwave read 1:03 a.m. Still. Unchanged. It hadn't moved. I grabbed my phone. The screen was on. But the wallpaper wasn't mine. It was a photo of the hallway. Taken from the corner. From a low angle. Like someone had been watching me. The date stamp in the corner read. 3 weeks ago. That wasn't possible. I hadn't taken that. My breathing turned shallow. Okay, I whispered. Okay. This is a dream. Say that again, my voice replied from behind me. I turned slowly. He stood there clearly now. Not a blur. Not a shadow. Me. Same height. Same scar on my chin. But his skin was slightly paler. His eyes darker. You left, he said. I didn't leave anything, I snapped. You woke up, he corrected calmly. I didn't. The memory slammed into me fully this time. The fall. I had slipped on wet concrete outside the subway station. Head first. I remember the impact. Then nothing. They told me I had been unconscious for 12 days. A severe concussion. Brain swelling. I survived. But what if? What if something stayed behind in that darkness? You're not real, I said again, but the confidence was gone. He stepped closer. The air around him felt colder. You think survival is clean? He asked. You think you wake up whole? The hallway lights flickered again. The walls shifted slightly. As if the apartment itself was breathing. I've been here since you opened your eyes in the hospital, he continued. Watching you forget. I didn't forget, I whispered. You did. He moved closer still. I could see the faint bruise on his temple. The one I had when I left the hospital. Only on him, it was darker. Permanent. You left me in the moment you decided you were fine, he said softly. My chest tightened. I had to move on, I said. And I had to stay. The floor creaked behind me. I backed into the kitchen counter. The clock still read 1:03 a.m. Time wasn't passing. It was stuck. Tonight we switch, he repeated. What does that mean? I demanded. It means I get the life. My stomach dropped. No. You don't even appreciate it, he said. You ignore what happened. You pretend you're untouched. I went to therapy, I snapped. You avoided the parts that hurt. The room darkened slightly. Not from lights going out. From something else. From him stepping closer. If I stay here, I whispered, what happens to you? He tilted his head. I get to wake up. A chill ran through me. And me? You get to rest. The word sent panic through my body. Rest didn't sound peaceful. It sounded final. You don't get to decide that, I said. I didn't decide, he replied calmly. The fall did. The apartment shifted again. For a split second, I saw hospital equipment layered over my kitchen. Monitors. A ventilator. A nurse standing over a bed. Then it snapped back. You're still there, he whispered. Still in the hospital. No. Yes. My heart pounded violently. I've been trying to wake you up, he said softly. But you keep choosing this. What is this? I shouted. He gestured around the apartment. A version where you don't remember the pain. My legs felt weak. Then why now? I asked. Because you finally heard me. Silence filled the space between us. The clock flickered. 1:03. 1:03. 1:03. If we switch, I whispered, will I remember? He smiled faintly. Which one? The question shattered something inside me. I realized I didn't know which version I was anymore. The one who woke up. Or the one who never did. The lights flickered violently now. The apartment blurred. His face moved closer. So close I could see my own reflection in his hollow eyes. You have to choose, he said quietly. Choose what? Wake up. The floor disappeared beneath my feet. Darkness swallowed everything. And in the silence, I heard distant voices. Real ones. Urgent. His heart rate spiking. Talk to him. Come on, stay with us. The darkness thinned. And for the first time, I wasn't sure which version of me was fighting to open his eyes.